Okay. Baby Wolves Minuet number 3. Hi guys, it's Ali Reza. This video is going to be about minuet number 3. From the start, let's go over the basics. You have no key signature, which means all the notes you play are going to be naturals. Now, this may actually look easy as far as not having any key signature, so that you may think that there's nothing that you have to actually think of, you have to memorize. But since you're not used to it, the first keys that you start with are G major and D major, but which have 1 sharp and 2 sharps. In this case, you don't have any sharps. So most of the times, the first C that you learned, for instance, was 3rd finger C on A string, which is C sharp. But in this case, see, I wrote number 2 and circled it. In this case, it's going to be 2nd finger on A string, which is the white one, as opposed to. So there is that. Time signature is 3/4. You've had that many times. 3 beats per bar. Each beat gets a quarter note, and there's only 4 lines in this piece. And as you can see, they are almost identical. And minuets are always like that. You're going to find many measures and many notes that are going to be played exactly the same. They're pretty much repeats. There is one major element, even though this is a very simple minuet that you guys are going to be playing. One major element as far as playing minuets, sometimes followed by trios, correctly, that you can follow are these dynamics that are extremely visible. Like you actually have it every 2 bars. Usually you don't get all these dynamics, but the first 2 bars forte, and exaggerate on all the dynamics just so that you understand exactly how it goes and you remember it. Sometimes you may actually miss one of these, but dynamics are extremely important in general. Specifically in this style. So forte for 2 bars, piano for 2 bars, forte for 1 bar, piano for 1 bar, crescendo, since you start on piano, crescendo back to forte. That's the formula. Forte 2, piano 2, forte 1, piano 1, crescendo for 2, back to forte 2, piano 2, forte 2. And this could also be piano, then crescendo to forte. You could technically repeat these for these ones, except for at the end you would do decrescendo. We'll adjust that once we rehearse it all together. The other thing that you have to follow is playing regular quarter notes versus staccato quarter notes. We've already talked about how to play those. Staccatos would pretty much mean half the value of each note, with bunch of exceptions and bunch of different things that it depends on, for instance, the composer, the era, the type of the piece, all of that. But in general, and the ones that we're doing here, you would pretty much play quarter notes that are staccato quarter notes, like an 8th note followed by an 8th rest. So for instance, this bar, if I played it regularly without any staccatos, you would play it like that. With staccatos, right? From the top, forte, so then piano, back to forte, piano, crescendo, right? And try your best to do these slurs. These are very easy slurs, and I'm sure all of you guys can do it. Just slur 2, G, F, E, D. You would be able to do it. Then you repeat the same for the next bar, except for these 4, G, D, B, D. Back to forte. You repeat the exact same notes almost, and the next line is almost just exactly the same as all the other ones. So these 2 are identical almost, and the top 2 lines are almost identical. Do me a favor, one thing is that is very accurate with minuets and trios, the tempo almost never changes until maybe at the end. Sometimes it depends, but make sure you keep the steady tempo. Bum 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 bum. We're not gonna go any faster than that. 1, 2, 3, ready, and go like that. Done, done, done. Yeah. So practice with metronome, right? Even practice your skill with metronome just so that you get a very good sense of tempo, not rushing, not getting ahead or behind of it. So really, really accurate speed. That's also very important with these styles. That's all I have to say. Make sure you pay attention to all the little details. Notes tend to be very simple. Just pay attention that you play everything natural, first of all, of course, and you follow articulations, dynamics, accents. In this case, there's the staccatos, slurs, all of that. Have fun practicing, guys.